That is disturbing, specialists say, since ultra-processed food varieties have turned into a significant piece of individuals' weight control plans around the world. They represent 67% of the calories consumed by youngsters and teens in the US, for instance. However, many inquiries remain. What are ultra-processed food varieties precisely? What's more, serious areas of strength for how the proof that they're hurtful. We requested that specialists answer these and different inquiries. What are ultra-processed food sources? To investigate foods based on their processing, Dr. Monteiro and his partners fostered a food order framework called NOVA, named after the Portuguese and Latin words for new. Since then, researchers from all over the world have adopted it. The NOVA method divides foods into four groups: natural or insignificantly handled food sources, as new or frozen products of the soil, beans, lentils, meat, poultry, fish, eggs, milk, plain yogurt, rice, pasta, corn, dinner, flour, espresso, tea, and spices and flavors. Handled culinary fixings, like cooking oils, margarine, sugar, honey, vinegar, and salt. Handled food varieties made by consolidating food varieties from Classification 1 with the elements of Classification 2, and safeguarding or altering them with somewhat straightforward strategies like canning, packaging, maturation, and baking. Freshly baked bread, the majority of cheeses, canned vegetables, beans, and fish are all part of this category. These food sources might contain additives that expand timeframe of realistic usability. Ultra-processed food sources made utilizing modern strategies and fixings you wouldn't commonly find in supermarkets, like high-fructose corn syrup, hydrogenated oils, and thought proteins like soy confine. They frequently contain added substances like flavorings, colorings, or emulsifiers to cause them to show up more appealing and attractive. Think soft drinks and caffeinated drinks, chips, confections, seasoned yogurts, margarine, chicken strips, franks, frankfurters, lunch meats, boxed macaroni and cheddar, baby recipes, and most bundled breads, plant milks, meat substitutes, and breakfast cereals. According to Virginia Tech nutrition professor Brenda Davey, if you look at the ingredient list and you see things that you wouldn't use in home cooking, then that's probably an ultra-processed food. The NOVA framework outstandingly doesn't arrange food sources in light of supplements like fat, fiber, nutrients, or minerals. It's rationalist to sustenance, said Maya Vadavelu, an academic partner of nourishment at the College of Rhode Island. Because many UPFs, such as whole grain breads, flavored yogurts, and infant formulas, can provide valuable nutrients, Dr. Vadavelu said. Are ultra-processed food sources destructive? Most examination connecting UPFs to chronic weakness depends on observational investigations, in which scientists get some information about their eating regimens and afterward track their well-being over numerous years. In an enormous survey of studies that was distributed in 2024, researchers revealed that consuming UPFs was related with 32 medical conditions, with the most persuading proof for coronary illness-related passings, type 2 diabetes, and normal psychological wellness issues like nervousness and sadness. According to Josie Mermatai, an associate professor of nutrition at the Harvard T.H., such studies are valuable because they can look at large groups of people over the many years it can take for chronic health conditions to develop. The 2024 review included results from nearly 10 million people. School of Public Health at Chan. She added that the consistency of the connection among UPFs and medical problems expanded her certainty that there was a genuine issue with the food sources. Lauren O'Connor, nutrition scientist and epidemiologist who previously worked at the Department of Agriculture and the National Institutes of Health, stated that observational studies also have limitations. She stated that although there is a correlation between these foods and chronic diseases, UPFs do not directly contribute to poor health. Dr. O'Connor addressed whether it's useful to gathering such obviously unique food varieties, like Twinkies and breakfast grains, into one classification. Ultra-processed foods like soda and processed meats clearly pose more health risks than others. UPFs like seasoned yogurts and entire grain breads, then again, have been related with the decreased gamble of creating type 2 diabetes. Clinical preliminaries are expected to test assuming UPFs straightforwardly cause medical issues. Dr. O'Connor stated just a single such review, which was little and had a few impediments, has been finished, she said. In that 2019 study, 20 adults of various sizes lived for 4 weeks in a National Institutes of Health research hospital. For a considerable length of time, they ate principally natural or negligibly handled food varieties. And for an additional 14 days, they ate predominantly UPFs. The weight control plans had comparable measures of calories and supplements, and the members could eat however much they needed at every feast. During their 14 days on the ultra-processed diet, members acquired a normal of 2 pounds and consumed around 500 calories more each day than they did on the natural eating routine. During their experience on the natural eating routine, they shed around 2 pounds. That finding could assist with making sense of the connection between UPFs, heftiness, and other metabolic circumstances, said Kevin Corrider, a nourishment and digestion specialist at the Public Organizations of Well-Being who drove the preliminary. Be that as it may, the concentrate should be reproduced, which Dr. Corrider is currently doing. Now, what could make UPFs harmful? There are quite a large number compelling sentiments about why ultra-processed food varieties are unfortunate, Dr. Lobby said. He continued, but there's actually not a lot of rigorous science regarding the nature of those mechanisms. Since UPFs are frequently modest, advantageous, and open, they're likely uprooting better food sources from our eating regimens, Dr. Lobby said. Yet, he and different researchers feel that the food sources could be significantly affecting well-being. They are high in calories, easy to chew, and contain hard-to-resist combinations of carbohydrates, sugars, fats, and salt, making them easy to overeat. Likewise conceivable, coming about glucose spikes might harm corridors or increase irritation. Or that specific food, added substances, or synthetic compounds might impede chemicals, cause a cracked digestive tract, or upset the stomach microbiome. Analysts, including Dr. Lobby and Dr. Davey, are starting to direct little clinical preliminaries that will test a portion of these hypotheses. Such investigations might help distinguish the most unsafe UPFs and even recommend how they might be made better, Dr. Lobby said. In any case, most scientists think there are different ways the food sources are hurting. According to Dr. Rarely in nutrition is there a single factor that fully explains the relationship between foods and some health outcome. Vadavelli said, what would it be advisable for us to do about ultra-processed food varieties? In 2014, Dr. Monteiro composed new dietary rules for Brazil that encouraged individuals to keep away from ultra-processed food varieties. Different nations like Mexico, Israel, and Canada have additionally unequivocally suggested keeping away from or restricting UPFs or exceptionally handled food varieties. The U.S. dietary rules contain no such counsel, yet a warning counsel is as of now investigating the proof on what UPFs might mean for weight gain, which could impact the 2025 rules. It's hard to tell some solution for UPFs in the U.S., where such a lot of food is. As of now, ultra-processed and individuals with lower earnings can be particularly reliant upon them, Dr. Lobby said. By the day's end, they are a significant wellspring of food, and food will be food, Dr. added Matai. We truly can't attack them, she said. While research proceeds, well-qualified conclusions vary on how individuals ought to move toward UPFs. Doctor, according to Montero, the safest course of action is to completely avoid them. For instance, you could substitute plain yogurt with fruit for flavored yogurt. Or you could purchase a fresh loaf of bread from a local bakery over packaged bread if you can afford it. Dr. Vadavello recommended a more safe system, zeroing in on restricting UPFs that don't give important supplements, similar to pop and treats. She additionally suggested eating more natural products, vegetables, entire grains, ultra-processed or not, vegetables, nuts, and seeds. Doctor, cook as much as you can at home with foods that have been minimally processed. Davy said. We can't really say much beyond that at this point, the team said.